Hello everyone and welcome back to Ed Tutorials. So we are proceeding with the functions. We already done with the what is functions and how function works, what a declaration and what is syntax of a function. Now we'll move forward and start working on the basic parameters or how a function can be called. So let's open Master Turbo C++. Just a minute, let it open B. Okay, so let's open a new file. No, let's open a file that we created in the last one, that is tut1. This is the file we created in a last tutorial in order to learn what is a function and how a function works, how to call a function in main function, etc, etc. So we just in this tutorials we all just will learn about calling types, or basically how we can call a function, call by value, call by reference, and call by pointers. This is basically, these are three function calls that we can perform in C++. How we can create a function and how we can call a function. Let's learn one by one. First, calling a function by its value. So calling a function by its value basically means you initialized here a and b as integer functions, and as soon as our main function, that is the sum function or this multiply function, mul function, gets called, the value of x, which is here taken by user, and y, which is also entered by user, this as soon as this multiply function is called here, so it will just the control is sent to this mul function. So it here initialized with a, and a copies the same value as x and b copies the same value as y. This is basically we are passing the same values, that is x is giving its value to a and y is giving its value to b in order to run this basic function. That's what we call a call by value function. So here we just call x and a just called x and b just called y by its value. A is calling x for its value and b is calling y for its value. This is simply what is called by reference, what we ran about in our last tutorial 5 and 4, and you can check out all the output is in front of you. So let's give it here e and el in order to correct it. 5 and 4, that's all, no issue. And moving forward to next one, let's delete it. Call by reference. Basically, what is a call by reference? Call by reference is, let's start, as soon as we declared x and y, these occupied a space in memory. Yes, that's correct. Let's assume x is stored at a place that is 1000, that is a memory location 1000, and y is stored in a memory that is in a memory location 1001. Okay, so as soon as this x and y have given it value, that x has a value, and okay, let me initialize. X has a value like 2 and its address is 1000, and same as y is having values 3 and its address is 1001. Now if we want to run this code using its reference, we just give, or we just control these statements using its address. So I just passed address of a and b in place of same value as x and y. Why I did it? Now you can check out here, the value of x is 2 and the address is 1000. So the address of this a will be same as 1000. So here a's value unknown but its address is 1000, and same scenario, b's value unknown but its address is 1001 because we copied it from the previous the downwards function. So this is basically what we call by reference. And in the same scenario, as soon as this C will be ran, the A and B will be added. Why? Because here, as soon as A went to the memory location 1000, it's seen that its value is known but not unknown, that is 2, and its B value is not unknown, that is 3. So, and in the same as in the call by value parameter, it will just run in the same manner, but just a difference is this reference operator. This is known as reference operator, through which we can refer a value that is it is stored at this place, it is stored at this place, and all. We can just change all of them so that we can check out the output of a call by reference function. So let's compile it. It compiled successfully, and as soon as run it 4 and 3, it's same as the previous one, because in the previous we just called by its value, and in this one we just called it by reference of its address. So let's delete everything, let's undo everything, just a minute, it will take some time. Now it's fine. So let's delete it also. Hope you have a great idea about call by reference. Now we'll call these functions using pointers. Pointers, in our last tutorial we learned last tutorial we learned about what is a pointer and what is the awesome features of a pointer. We can just call its address, we can just print its address, we can just call its values. These all are the features of a pointer. So now here, if I want to use it as a pointer, what I have to do? I don't have to pass the exact value of x. I have to pass the address of x and address of y to the sum function. But will it run? No. Let's compile it. It is showing 4 errors. Why? Because I have passed this address of x, but there is nothing who can take the address value, because it's just a variable, that is just an integer variable. But as soon as I give it a pointer, it is a integer pointer variable. It is no more than just a variable. So now if I compile, the error reduced to 1. Why? Still the basically here we just declare 2 pointer variables and trying to add 2 simple variables, which is not possible. So let's run this code and change it, and now run this code. It is compiled successfully, you can check out. And if I run it, 2 and 1, sum is 3, difference is 1, multiplication is 2. So this is basically what we are doing here. We are just passing the address to a pointer variable. Let's assume value of x is 2 and address is 1000, and y is 3, address is 1001. We just passed the address here. So here 1000 is went to A. Now as soon as this value A here, A is having a value unknown and address is 1000, but this value, why? Because this pointer variable basically means value at A, that is value at this 1000. So now this changed to 2. In the same scenario as y, so y will be given to B. This is basically what is known as call by pointers. We can just change in the whole program in order to see the changes, but nothing will be changed. You can use any of the 3 types, that is call by value, call by reference, and call by pointers. So we'll do all these in this code only. Just a minute. We will call this sum function using call by pointers, and we'll do it the subtract function with call by reference. What we need to do, we need to just change this A to address of A and address of B. We have to just pass it, nothing can be changed. and multiply will be the same because I just want to pass it by value, call by value. Now if I compile this code, it is showing 0 error, and I can check out here 2 and 3. Sum is 5, difference is -1, and multiplication is 6. So it's all clear. Call by value, call by reference, and call by pointer. Everything is done in this tutorial. So this is basically what a calling function means. Now if I open my tut1 tutorial again, oh, it is saved. Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't need to save it, no issue. I just want to teach you one more, that is default values of parameters. Default values. So I just show you in the call by value issue. Here I just given a multiply function x and y, but I don't need to take it. If I want this b as a value of 20. Okay, now if I compile, you can check out I'm running it 3 and 2, and you can check out multiplication is 6 only. Then what is this meaning of b is equal to 20? Basically, as soon as we have this value, it do not work on it. But what we, if I just delete this y and now running this code, it worked. You can check out, just a minute, you can check out here, multiply is having only one parameters, but here multiply is having two parameters. Still it ran and it didn't show any error. You can check out here, no errors, no warnings. But why this happened? Actually, as in a call by value issue or call by value process, we have to pass the values of two functions or three functions, as many parameters are there in the same function. But here b is defined as 20 by default, so if I don't take its value, then y is automatically 20. So I don't need to print it, or I don't need to pass the value of y, because just a's value is passed and b's value is taken by b is equal to 20. If I delete this one also and just give a value of 10, now if I try to run this code, it worked. You can check out, if I give 3 and 4, sum is 7, difference is -1, correct, but multiplication is 200. Why? Because I didn't pass any value in multiplication function, so it just took automatically a and b and just printed calculated it here and just printed it here. This is what the awesomeness of a function. So a function is a very important topic in C++ or in any of the code. If you try to do web designing, if you try to make any games or software, you must have a great knowledge of function. So till this thing we end up with functions, and something is remaining, that is a function overloading. We'll learn later on as soon as we start using or start learning about OOPS, that is object oriented programming principles. So I'll teach you all these functions and function overloading and etc. in all that in the next tutorial or next tutorial. So we'll learn it soon, but till now, please be perfect in functions and just make yourself or create yourself to perfection in using functions in C++ or in any other programming language, so that you don't have to face any of the issue. Okay, so that's all for this class, and just keep coding, like, comment and subscribe on my video, and also share your views on my video, so that I can improve my videos and improve my content also, so that you can be a master programmer, and I'll also have satisfaction from my side that I'm able to help you out. So take care and keep coding. Enjoy.